Maybe just to set the base, we estimate the private credit market to be $1.7 trillion globally and to potentially grow to $3 trillion over the next 3 to 5 years. So definitely strong growth. Most of that, around $1 trillion of that number that I mentioned outstanding today is in the US, but actually fast growing in the EMEA region and Asia as well. Our forecast is that the Fed will cut probably around 100 to 120 basis points over the next 12 to 16 months, so get to a base rate of the mid to high 3%. So that has always different implications. One of the implications is that depending on the steepness of the curve, initially the net interest margins may be compressed, but on the other hand, if the rate banks make most favorable, if you will, economics when on a steeper yield curve. So if even though the rate cuts will be obviously initially maybe negative, eventually the steepness of the curve will also buffer some of that net interest income impact. The other aspect is for private credit, if you think about it, the more capital formation there is going to be more need of funding. What has happened in the capital markets over the last few years with a very high rate cycle, a lot of the capital markets like M&A, mergers and acquisitions, even the broadly syndicated loan market in the period between 2021 and 2023 was really shut down because of the high rates and the uncertainty around monetary policy as one of the key drivers. Now that the Fed has signaled that the rates will go down, that will, our expectations are that will stir capital markets activity, capital deployment, both on strategic partnerships and strategic M&A, but also, very importantly, on the private capital, on the private equity, sponsor finance M&A. So that should actually be driving financing needs both by the banks, but also by private credit as well from a volume perspective, so positive.